Hello guys, I wanted to talk with you today about payphones. Now, I've done a video in the past about the state of payphones in the U.S. now, and really the world, because it's the amount of payphones that are out there is diminished. It continues to diminish, and to a point when there's almost none, and we're talking about maybe a few payphones, active payphones per state, and it's very unfortunate because there's very little privacy in the way we communicate now. If you want to make a private phone call, now in the age we live in with the Patriot Act and all of that, we have so few options for having a private phone call or private anything when it comes to long distance communication. So there are just so few options, and what's worse is just how hard it is to find what's out there. Now, I've done research on this before. Last year I did a video talking about this, and I was only able to find 3 payphones. Now, I just wanted to reiterate on that and mention that I found one single more payphone. But I just wanted to share that with you guys because it's very difficult finding these payphones that are active. It requires making dozens, even hundreds of phone calls before I even find one. The only reason I was lucky to find one this time is because there was this tool I used called, I think it's called Payphone Locator. I was able to find one that was located in the Easton Mall of Columbus, Ohio. And I called it too, so it's active. And so when you call one of these numbers that are listed, and there are a couple of places to find them. There's the payphone. I think it's called the Payphone Directory or something like that, and then there's another one called Payphone Project. There's a couple of places that give long lists of payphones that where the number is there, but these lists are just woefully outdated, and almost none of them are active. So there's very little research being done. There's very little resources being put into actually finding the payphones that are out there. So it's a wild goose chase trying to find these payphones. There's almost none of them left, and in some cases there are entire states without a single payphone functional, at least any that are published and listed as active payphones. But I've managed to find a few. I found 3 of them last year. I wanted to add one to the list. So, and this is just for Ohio. I'm from Ohio, and if I'm ever going to use a payphone, it's probably going to be when I'm in Ohio. So, yeah, there are 4 of them that I know of that are active. Now, I've mentioned in a previous video 3 of these. So, one of them was in Port Columbus International Airport, and that one was, the phone number was 614-338-8452. And so that's one of them. Number 2 would be, there's a rest area, there's one in a rest area in Bath Township off of I-90 or I-77. And that one is active, and it's and that phone number is 330-659-9988. So that's 330-659-9988. The third one I wanted to mention was at a Bay Village Speedway, is how it's described. And that phone number is 440-250-0508. And that one is active as well. And so then the last one is the one that I most recently found, and this one is in Easton Mall in Columbus. Easton Mall is in northeast Columbus. If you're not familiar, it's basically the biggest mall in Columbus, Ohio. And so that phone number is 614-478-3342. So the four numbers again, that's the first one is 614-338-8452. The second one is 330-659-9988. The third one is 440-250-0508. And the most recent one I found was 614-478-3342. Now feel free to give any of these phone numbers a call, and it'll ring again and again. The way I know that it's active is because it'll ring for at least a minute straight, which is unusual, because if you normally when you call somebody, it usually doesn't ring more than 5 or 6 times, and then it goes to voicemail. And typically most of these disconnected numbers will just do like a 3-tone, like ding ding ding, and these ones don't. These ones will ring for at least a minute, and then the payphone, the service provider, will leave a message before disconnecting. Will give you a message before disconnecting. So that's how I know that they're active, and so that's something recently that I found out. It's not that the phone will ring forever. I thought at first that the phone would just keep ringing and ringing and ringing, but no. If you call one of these active payphones, it'll ring for about a minute, maybe a minute and a half, and then it'll cut off. So yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys, because payphones are an incredibly rare thing these days, and who knows how long they're going to last. But I think it's important that anybody who cares about privacy and anonymity, regardless of your reasons, you don't need a reason. You can make payphones you can use a payphone to prank call your local pizza place, or any reason really. I mean, it's a lost art, the idea of an anonymous phone call, and we shouldn't lose that. Anonymous phone calls are something that we should cherish, and we should enjoy. And if you want to do something criminal, that's the best way to go about it. But if you just want to have fun and play a prank, or just have basic privacy, that should be guaranteed to all of us. But it's not. This is the way to get it, because landlines and payphones are becoming a thing of the past, especially payphones. So it would be nice if we can take the time to appreciate these payphones and use a payphone once in a while. If you find one, see if it works. And if you ever find a payphone that's active, please feel free to leave it in the comments. I'd love to know the phone number or the possible location, and because we should cherish these and not let them disappear. So anyway, if I find another one in the future, I will make another video, and of course I will call all the old ones to make sure they're still functioning. So I did that. All 4 of these I called yesterday, and they're all functional. So feel free to give any of those 4 phone numbers a ring, and you should get the same experience I got. And if any of them for some reason stop working, feel free to let me know as well. So anyway, thank you for your time, guys.